This is a video about a new style entrepreneur who I have with me, and my name is Minja Zeus. I'm a founder of a Qi-Optima platform and professional of the complementary healthcare. So who I have today honored to present to the world?
Hi Minja, I'm Niklas Christides. Yes, founder, owner of DVG Global, and a real passionate people person these days who wants to share some good and hopefully some positive change to the world.
Wow, that was a great presentation. I'm very happy to get you today here for this interview, and the things you have already opened to me, as we are each other's teachers all the time. So, and you are an entrepreneur, and I wanted to today talk about, because you're a little bit different entrepreneur that all the others, even all of us are special, of course. But first of all, I wanted to ask you questions that we ask from everyone, and then let's go more specific on those two different projects, or actually many projects that you are doing. So the first question would be, why in the first place you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Thank you, and and congratulations to Qi-Optima. I think is a great thing that you are trying to create, and I have to say that it's very close to our thinking. So in that kind of way, I think you're on the right tracks.
Me too. I think the same thing of you. That's so great to meet same kind of people with same kind of vibration. It's like a joy always to talk to you and collaborate with your project.
Great. So, but back to the question. So, what's the road to becoming an entrepreneur? What inspired me? Well, I actually knew, and around the age of 13, that I'm going to be, an entrepreneur, running my own things, and my kind of creating my own road. So I've always been independent like that, trying to see the world from a different perspective and bring my own perspective to the world. When you're young, you just don't know when it's going to happen, though. You don't really start. Well, these days some people start companies even as 13-year-olds, but that wasn't my way. But I I saw myself as a project that needed to gain the skills necessary to be able to take the leap into entrepreneurship. So my kind of career demonstrates this quite well in terms of where I'm now. So if I briefly tell you about my career, then maybe people better understand what happened. So I started my career in the airline industry, did about 5 years at Helsinki airport in many different roles, and which was great because it was about people. It was about cultures and meeting people and languages and all this kind of openness and the reactive environment. Everything changes, airplanes are always delayed or on time or whatever, and you have to be so reactive to everything. So I got a really good kind of jump into this reactive environment. But then I also wanted always to go into learning about business and economics and things like that. So this has always fascinated me, together with sports and stuff like that. So, but I never liked the Finnish model. So in Finland, everything was, so I'm from Helsinki originally. And in Finland, because it's such a small country, I think it's like light years away from what's happening in the real world, in the big world. Doesn't mean it's
totally.
One isn't better or worse than the other. Actually, they're all as bad, I guess. But but
everything needs to change.
That's it, exactly.
In these societies,
So,
I totally agree.
but I got quite annoyed with the Finnish way. So I didn't feel that the way we teach anything that comes to economics or understanding how the economy or a society works is totally ludicrous, to be honest. Even at that age, I didn't get it. So I started to search for places where I could learn, study in English, and then potentially stay over there. And it took me to England and to Nottingham Trent, where I did my business studies. And also, and this was the road for me to stay in England for 10 years.
Okay, because I hear your accent. It's perfect English and British accent. Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, I've had to sit in some very important meetings because I was also working for Rolls-Royce for 6 years. So, you know,
wow.
The company has quite high standards, and if people don't understand what you're saying, you're not gonna make it. So
of course. Wow. So you had to learn. It's so cool. I did not know. Interesting.
Yeah. So I've sort of seen the big world, the big company corporation world, and in my last role, I was running a team of over 50 business controllers. Managing the economy of Rolls-Royce and looking at reporting and all of. So I knew kind of how the big company of 50,000 employees works. And
wow.
and
amazing.
And it's amazing. It was a great place, a great honor to have had the chance to work there. I think I developed many great relationships there, and it's eye-opening to see how something of that size works, and which is truly global. It has it's everywhere. So you also have to work with all kinds of people. But from there, then the door opened, and I had a chance to go my own way, and that's where my entrepreneurship journey started. And I founded Hicks, which was my first company, still running also. And this was where I was doing all of the coaching and leadership stuff and things like this. So I teach people, business leaders and others in how to run things. But I was also developing like the operations for startup companies, medium-sized companies, to give them growth acceleration and so on.
Interesting. Can I quickly ask about that? You said it's still running. Are you making still, like, could you make educative videos to sell to companies?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very passionate about the human resource side. So how we actually empower the workforce and create some leaps in the efficiency as well as like health and well-being at work. But equally, I also created a very creative competency framework for soft skills 6 years ago, which for instance, Nottingham Trent said at the time when we were thinking about bringing it into their education model, that it was over 10 years ahead of their time, which they still confirmed about 3 years ago. So
wow, that's amazing. Because did you know, you probably haven't had time to check so much what Qi-Optima is, because we want to promote also growth, but not growth only personal growth, but also growth in business. So we actually want to sell these kind of courses for companies. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit later if you're willing to make a course, and which would be sold through Qi-Optima for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And I have other things, interesting things where we might be able to collaborate more when we're talking about how to find the right place for the person.
And I can actually mention something interesting, that I was talking with Aalto University Business School with the Vice Dean a couple of years ago about simulating the business environment. So bringing teaching to a simulation model, which is what is all about this when we are moving towards the doing this Zoom and distance learning and everything. So how to create situations where people can feel the pressure. Like if you think, how can you teach a person how to feel in a boardroom? They never get into the board, they will never know until they get into the boardroom. But with simulation, we can teach people what to prepare for. But we never got anywhere with this, because it was
please,
also...
we could do it. We could do it because like I have made in Finnish, self-confidence is a success course. It's actually big parts of that, of the stimulation, and I make people do these practices in their own lives. And I didn't do it yet in English. I will do it. It will take a long time. It's a long course, but oh my, this is interesting. I would not expect this to happen in this interview, but I think we gotta talk about this later and make the world something totally new in this way too.
And I think maybe this is where some people also find me. Like you said, I am a little bit different because I am a jack of all trades in this sense. I have my background is very diverse, and it's funny that one of my passions is trying to break or create a bridge between our work life and our personal life. This has been my passion for the last 6 years, probably more, like unconsciously. But it's like, why are we trying to look at things that are associated? Why are we trying to separate them when they are really, married to each other? So how we feel at home, if we have problems at home, it will affect our work life. If we have problems at work, it will affect our personal life. So
it's true.
Everything
even you think you may run to work and you gonna just focus on this, so that you're like resting from home, but you cannot still avoid it to affect.
Exactly. And this is almost how we then can create the bridge to what DVG Global is, which is my second company, which we run together with Rocco Parisi, my old friend, who manages our supply chain in South Europe, in Croatia and Italy, and make sure that we get great products from small production to Finland.
Quick question. What kind of products do you sell?
Well, we sell anything, what we would call kind of like dry products, dry ingredients. So from spices to herbs to honey to things like this, oils, all of the organic things that we get from people that we personally know. So
great. Would you be willing later maybe sell those through Qi-Optima platform maybe?
Yes, indeed.
I think about it.
It's one of the things that we also are working on, that we want to, in our name, www.mydvg.eu, so mydolcevitaglobal.eu is the idea. It's EU because we always knew that we don't want to be one country. We actually, our vision is about having a diverse. If we bring something from South Europe, why would we not bring something from Finland to South Europe?
Exactly. So all the time people are traveling with the package. Don't run with the empty car.
So it's kind of that idea. And then, but we have started in Finland because we needed a place where we can create the offering,
establish
and the portfolio of products and so on, and services. Now we have entered a stage where we sort of ready to move towards these partnerships in the other places, and it's great to have Qi-Optima as an opportunity in this for Spain, and as the vision for you is also beyond it. This is how the world should evolve.
All over the world. Of course. For me, why the thing is that I have to do now in 3 languages, everything is that because I speak 3 languages. So then if I do only 1 language, all these other 2 groups be left without information. So I try to always give my information in 3 languages. And if we take something like Dolce Vita, we wanna with these products to make it in Spanish too, so that all the Spanish customers can also buy the products. Great.
And make the world get closer to each other. This is all. Why are we creating? I see that people are the happiest when they meet. When people from different countries meet who are open, this is where you meet the happiest people in the world. Why are we taking this away from ourselves?
Exactly. I totally agree. It's so great. And then you have in Dolce Vita, you have more. Of course, there's another question still, but what I'm going to ask, maybe we will answer them meanwhile you tell. But then what else? Dolce Vita have products, but it has other projects too, what it's making currently.
Yes, so the idea when we talk about this bridge between, or actually we can go straight away to the point of lifestyle. So our slogan is creating happiness. So we saw our mission to share the things that make our life, my and Rocco's life, meaningful. So this is like when we choose a wine that we like. So we want to have organic wine, but because we live in Finland, we cannot get any real organic wine because everything is like from massive production and sold through the monopoly Alko.
Okay,
so why would
I did not even know. I saw Q in the shelf, but
anybody can put organic on a tag, like
so that's unfortunate.
So some people want real stuff. We are one of those.
We also in Qi-Optima definitely we want real stuff, high quality.
So the point is that we understood that we can use our own values, our own high values as a filter to ensure that we will never have something that would not meet our standards. And because we get it, we can share it onwards to our customers.
Exactly.
Which makes the life very simple.
If you want something to be done.
Exactly. And same goes for the services. So we only want services who we can see that add value, actually meet our values, and we could say, this makes sense. We could need this. We don't want anything we don't need. So we have a very kind of like, not just money-oriented approach, but more of we want to promote authenticity. We want to make sure that real things are promoted through us. Not the idea that somebody is getting rich on something and we can get rich on the side, but we sell our soul as the trade.
The devil with the devil.
This is not something that I find meaningful, and I also don't believe that the world needs this kind of approach, which is why the world is now partly changing and part of it looks the same.
Because it is breaking. The old manners are breaking, and it's good. So you did this special thing. I was also participating in Finnish language. It's called My Life project or happening. What it is? Can you tell more? And approximately when will it come in English? Of course, you don't maybe have an accurate date yet, but something more about.
Minja, thank you, and it's great. This is actually was a bridge between us as well. So it's great to see how partnership can be sort of accelerated through certain things that people do together. But My Life is our latest kind of project, which is trying to bring a new type of event service, which is online. So we actually did it live, one version of this in September 2020, but now we've taken it online because the world is moving that way. And the idea is that we actually create interviews, interactive things, and stories, videos, whatever. And we we create them before the event, so that we have like a portfolio of material. And then we have an event, a launch event, where we actually present this material. We also have some live guests and things. So it's kind of like a shorter version of something where we present all of the great things we did over a period. And then we release it, and it's all free, because the idea is that we need to start engaging the world. Because I don't like the idea that, you know, somebody who doesn't have money doesn't have the right to learn. I think it's one of the major failures of the world and of society. And you know, because some of the greatest people may also be the ones that have nothing. So why don't we actually help them also have access to the same things as the ones that maybe can pay for something? So I want to kind of bring a new idea, and then we want to kind of make sure that sponsorship would be the way of maintaining and growing it to something that can actually also evolve. But if not, I'll finance it myself probably. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We will do it some way. But I think it's so important that we contribute to the world in a unified way, without segregation, without, you know, saying that somebody is better than the other because they have an opportunity to through money or something else, but actually, you know, bridge the gap between these kind of questions is an awesome force and power, and it belongs in this time where we now are.
I totally agree, and as a long time since Qi-Optima was a different name, we always have had this first free conversation, because it means that if you want to start something, you gotta know if you really want it, or you gotta see kind of the result up front. Then you know that, oh well, this is kind of interesting, I want to dig into it really, or I want to understand it really. And then of course there would be a payment then, because we are entrepreneurs and still we use money in this world. But me also, I would be agreeing that if, you know, I love something, I'm doing it because I love it. Like the yoga and Krav Maga, what I do on the beach now once a week, both of them, I do it because I love it. And then people come there, and I was in yoga, doing the yoga yesterday. Somebody was watching what we did and was, oh my God, he wanted to come. And I said, well, come next week. And we are here. And he was like, because I think he was so happy and surprised that, oh my God, it's something, this is for free. And you can just come here and do yoga with us.
And that's the point, which I understood some years ago, is that if we don't give something of ourselves for free, we have no right to demand anything back. And this is why I have, for me, it's also changed a lot of my philosophy. I don't, and I respect everybody who is on. We're all on different journeys, and that's fine. And I don't judge anybody who does it in a different way. But for me, is something that came as a revelation that no, we cannot just be trading all the time. We cannot set all the rules, but because we have to say that, look, I'm giving something, and you know, and I'm not gonna demand anything. Because you give it from your heart. It's like that's called like unconditional love. Yes.
And we are used to that I give you this, so you give me that. I'm not happy at this. So then you never be kind of satisfied on anything. But if you really give from your heart, you kind of be very satisfied while you're giving it. And others are very satisfied also by receiving it. And I really loved, then you can say, I really love the way how you helped me to choose my subject, for example, because I was trying to get from you what you wanted me to say, but in the way you get it out from me, even I didn't even notice what I wanted to share or what I wanted to tell. So I think that was very magical, and the way you have actually guided me. I was talking about one customer, a little bit about problem that I had, because she's in so much pain and she don't want to do anything about it. So you actually guided me in a way that I just have to be curious to ask questions. Can you tell a little bit more about that? Because it was very interesting what you did to me.
Yeah, well, I think curiosity is sort of the thing that is kind of a human trait that lies at the bottom of where it's like a dynamo in our heart, in our soul, in our heart, in our mind, everything. Because curiosity opens, it creates energy, because we want to see, we want to explore opportunity. We want to learn. This is why we have the question about life are we alone, and all these kind of things. It's curiosity that drives us, and is a real force. Why are astronomers so energetic? Most of them is because they ask a lot of questions, and they're curious. They're constantly curious about what's going on, and it's quite fascinating how that works. But it's in all of this comes also when we look at the world and how it works, and what our relationship to, for instance, your customer or things like this, which was that sometimes things can seem very frustrating. They can seem like, oh, there's not really any solution to this, or we don't know what path to choose, or so on. But the point is that we need to, with our curiosity, find ways to look at the world from different angles. And that's where like when in England people go to school and people teach this kind of horse flaps idea that if you're going to be a tennis player, then you're going to be a tennis player forever. But the point is, what are you going to do when your tennis career is over? Maybe you should do something else. So it's all about like it may seem like a great idea, because that's a great career path, very focused, everything, but you don't see anything, and you kind of struggle with the questions that bombard you anyway. So when we're not curious, we will never get peace when we try to block our curiosity. So the openness to things also is our solution to find solutions. Because when we ask, and the case with you and your customer was the frustration of not being able to provide a solution. But the problem was that you did not look at the solution from enough angles, because it was already there, and the solution was in you, not in the customer.
Yeah, exactly. And it was in an understanding that like everything is part of the path. Not path. Everything is part of the path, so that even you feel you have unsucceed, it's maybe very succeed if you watched it later on when the life goes by, so the things may change.
And just in terms of this as well, I think you asked about the event timing. So yes. It's very important that, because of the times we live in, I'm very happy we actually managed to make the Finnish version called Ela Hyvin now, and we developed it in a very, very short time scale. In a month and a half, we got over 20 hours of video material recorded in different interviews and things, and we had the event as well. So it was a great achievement, and also people should take this as a lesson. There is nothing that cannot be achieved in this world. I don't believe it. As long as there is a logical path, that the project is realistic, you can. There is
even I would say, even it's unrealistic, because somebody hasn't done it yet. It doesn't mean nobody cannot do it. And if somebody have gone close, you can go further. No worries.
Exactly.
But of course, it may take years, 10, 20, 50 years, but if you really want something and you
Correct.
learning the right things, I believe you can do it.
Definitely.
You know?
But so the good thing is that we had the Finnish event now, and the results are great. I think we had such a good response, and especially also from people like yourself who were partaking, and the fact that you guys see it as a working concept helps us believe in it even more. So I think, you know, we were talking that the English version will come out probably in around end of May. So,
okay.
So we will
Wow.
work. We will work. I don't promise it quite yet. We won't release the date for a couple of weeks yet, because we need to make sure. But because we need to coordinate
a little bit.
Yeah, well,
because it was a pretty.
Yeah, it was a decent effort. But.
Because for me, I was normally if I organize event, it will take 1 year, and for me, you and my colleague also and friend Aapo was saying that 1.5 months we're gonna do it. We're not gonna have any hurry. I was like, you're not gonna have any hurry? Okay, well, wow. I said, just that's amazing. I have not heard something like that or felt, but good. And I admire how you did it. It was awesome. There was still one thing, but I wanted to ask: is it Dolce Vita that has this project, or can you talk about this organic village? This what it is all about? It's interesting. I want to move in that kind of houses. When
yes.
It's possible.
When we created Dolce Vita, one of our visions was that we need something to eventually glue everything together that we do. And what we saw was that it's the community thinking that is the one thing that over the past 10, 20 years has been slowing down. People are becoming more self-centered and more selfish and all that kind of stuff, and they even forget their family and their closest relatives and things. And like we treat old people, I despise the world for it. How do you think that you're going to get treated if you cannot give 1 minute for the old people, your parents, and people who you still to some point should at least be grateful for being here? So I think, you know, the world has very
totally agree.
Twisted way of living, and very, very self-centered. So I don't.
It's horrible. It's horrible, because we should really show respect, because those people are the reason why we are alive.
That's it.
And many times I do telemarketing also, and many times I call to old people. They might be 90, they might be 80, and then they tell their stories about war and things. And many times they say, thank you so much for listening me, because it might be 20 minutes, it might be 1 hour, and that they never even bought anything. I said, it was my pleasure. And sometimes I call people who are really, they almost want to commit suicide, because they say, who needs me when I'm here by myself? And then I talk with them, and I try to make them feel better and try to say thank you. And one lady said that, thank you, well, you really cheered my day. And it was like, I felt the best, you know. So many times when people say your telemarketing work is for nothing, it's like work for dogs, you know, I find it is very important work, because sometimes really you don't know how people use telemarketer as a therapist, and I'm very happy that they do so, but I hope that those who work on telephone, they will take also the patient, because it might not take long if you will really save somebody's day, and it's a big thing.
It's a major thing, and it's like and in this, like, I am quite critical to where society is. I think we could be much more progressive, and I think we have failed in many aspects. I think also business has a big like, it always dodges every bullet, but I don't think, like, I couldn't live with myself if my company represents only using people. Like, why would I do that? It's not right. Come on. And we have more responsibility in this world than to be that selfish. So I think it's for all the business leaders out there, you know, you can actually also do everything great that you're doing with heart. You don't have to be so cold. There's no reason for that. It's just about teaching yourself new skills and soft skills, and you'll be all right. But it's all about, do you want to, or do you want to remain like this hard shell that people represent? So, but
I totally agree, and many times people they also criticize about me because I cry a lot or I laugh a lot. But if I can laugh, I can also cry, and it just means that my heart is very open and I feel maybe. But you're oversensitive person. But the thing is, if you're sensitive, you are able to feel, to know where you should go and what is wrong. And even when you find out what is wrong, you could still do Ho'oponopono, or you can still pray for something, for somebody. If you cannot really help them, you can still wish for something good for them. And manifestation does work for others too. We can do big things for others if we want, and that actually makes your light grow. If you do something again from the unconditional love, and not even, maybe nobody even knows you did something to them and you thought well, you hoped well for them, but you could really change their lives too.
Exactly.
It's cool.
And with this is kind of logical where we come from then. So the eco villages are part of the eco society idea. So organic society where unconditional love almost is a very good way of explaining how it should work, which is that it's self-sufficient, first of all, of course, because it needs to be able to learn to do things itself and manage itself. It's our dependence to everything that's offered to us in this perfect world that we kind of like want to think that we live in, which is nowhere near perfect.
And eating empty food.
Exactly.
It costs us empty food, no nutrition. Then we have to be taking, of course, good supplements, but still, what if we would eat, food,
eat the real stuff
made
from
with
the beginning?
Love.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any of it, and this is where we want to kind of take this concept, is that, but we come from a different angle. What I kind of learned in through my career is that don't ever walk like the simple route, because you will always stumble and you will always have to rebuild. And when you look at all the villages and eco villages and everything that people have created over the years, and now there are many of them coming up and all that, you can go and look at any of them and you will see the problem is that they have not figured out how to kind of finance and make themselves sustainable. So they think that like building the house where people live is important, but it's actually the least important thing of all. Anybody can build a house who wants to learn a little bit about timbering or something. It's not hard. The thing that's hard is to create all of the channels and independencies and everything else to be able to make sure that, like, if you grow tomatoes, you know where to sell them. What do you do if you have tomatoes and you can't sell them anywhere? It doesn't help you. So our approach is that we have all of the infrastructure needed, we have built it, and we make sure that we have all the types of people we need in this type of community for it to work first, and then we build houses.
Okay. So you mean like, if I have too much tomato that I cannot eat, I'm gonna make like a tomato paste, which is organic, and then sell it.
Yeah, but where do you sell it? If you don't have any channel to sell it, then it doesn't help you. And a village, in the end, it has an economy that it has to run. So if your economy doesn't run, it will not succeed. It doesn't matter how good the idea is. It always falls.
No, but I love the idea, because then you have workers who work, but they also live, they get healthy food, but they can get together and work. And that's the combination of work and home living.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I also think that society is a bit kind of like it doesn't really want to do a lot of things at the moment. When you get like, oh, I'm now a manager, what you see, people, they actually slow down. They start to think that they don't have to do anything because they're managers.
Yeah.
So one of the points,
I have seen that.
Yeah. So one of the points with this is that by contributing, people can stay motivated because they can also sell part of what they're making. And they can feel that because they are doing it, the society is actually, this community is flourishing. So then they are motivated. And this is when you look at history, how some of the greatest cities came up, because those cities who had the amazing energy were the ones where people were motivated for the right reasons, not for money, not for any thing like that, but for purpose.
Exactly. That's it. Oh my God. And now I understand better all that concept when you told me about your journey. Perfect. I have few questions, what we always gonna ask from everyone. So what do you think is needed for somebody who is thinking that maybe I want to be an entrepreneur? What qualities you think, or what mindset, or what do you think is most important, how do you say, tool or seeds, for them who are thinking about it?
I think the first, and it's really important now to understand that the world is trying to make the door is open for everybody to be entrepreneurs. This is the time that we're living, is the one where nobody should be an entrepreneur who doesn't have the guts to be an entrepreneur, because it will not give you, it is not success, it is not, most of it, the journey of somebody starting anything, they will not become millionaires. They will not even probably reach 100,000. They will not reach good salaries. So, but what you can create is that if you go towards self-sustainability and you do things well, you can have much more than the person who is on 50,000 a year or something else. The point is, you need to understand why you're doing things. And if you do it from the heart, an entrepreneur will have the freedom to recreate themselves, which you cannot do in any job, because also the pressure in every job is growing. So, which means that there is not really any like healthy society in a workplace or a corporation, because they have to push you and squeeze everything out of you. An entrepreneur has a freedom to move, but you will have less. So you need to learn to live with what you got. So the thing is, it should never be a choice just because it's there as an offer. It needs to be thought out. Why are you the person to do it? Secondly, do never start from scratch. Make sure you build as much as you can beforehand. You trade with something like, use Qi-Optima, use Dolce Vita as your partner. Make sure you have enough money on the back before you start, because otherwise you will fail.
Well, that's so good point. I agree, but I have to tell you what happened to me that you wouldn't maybe never started if you would be me. Because when I were this marketing school, and there was teacher with nice clothes and nice everything, saying that, you know what, you always have to have 5,000 in your bank account to assure you, like just that you say, and then you run your. I said, because, and we asked it why, because then you cannot sleep during the night if you don't have that. And I said, well, I never had that. So if you would be me, you wouldn't be sleeping never. But I still have done it, but because my why is so strong that I would rather die before. Yeah. So my why is stronger than the like intelligence is what you are guiding people to do. That's very good advice. Yeah. I suggest that everyone to take it.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the people who are a little bit more maybe holistic and in touch with the world, you need to go where your heart guides you. That's where you'll find your peace. but don't think that the journey will be easy. But if you are open to it, this is where it will take you to places where you can never get to, walking any other road.
Exactly. Like many people say entrepreneurship is a illness, because it's a negative way of looking at the thing. But the thing is, it's so important that you wouldn't do anything else but what you're doing, and that's a purpose of life. So it's beautiful when you find it, the spark. Well, you almost answered this next question, but you have something to add here more. Why have you chosen this Allah, like this how would you call it
profession.
in this profession? This
area of work.
Area of work. Better.
Well, my area of work, or our area of work, is life. So the answer
why
is
not?
It's in my life.
Better question is why not?
It's in my lifestyle. Dolce Vita enables me to live with the lifestyle that best fits me. So I use my company to make me the best version of me, and then I share it to people because that makes me happy.
Perfect, and I would say the same thing exactly. So it's so cool. So this is important question and advice for entrepreneurs who are thinking at it, or to anyone who has a hard day. How do you take challenges, or like if you have a bad day, what do you do or if you have something went very wrong and everything is crashed, what do you do to pick yourself up from there? Or what do you say, or what do you think to go forward?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good question, and an important one as well. So I used to go have these good and bad spells. My life has not been an easy life by any means. I've been at the bottom. I've had years where I've earned more than many. So, but it's interesting in the world how we also have to make a lot of mistakes to learn, but it's what we do with those mistakes and how we learn from them that makes us grow into something more, and possibly something more stable. And I've actually been starting work on hopefully one of my coming big projects personally, which is I call it Soul Flow, and what we focus on in this or what I focus on is that I believe that life is more about trying for life to be more understandable and easier. We should kind of try to find more like a stable energy rather than this wave energy. So what I mean is that when we let emotions drive us or take us everywhere, we always trade off something. So if we kind of like are very emotional, then we rarely can use our brains very well because we can't focus. Or so it's about trying to bring your mind, heart, soul, body, everything into balance, so that there would be less up and down and more stable. So this is what I mean with like soul flow, is that the idea is that we are more stable and even, so that when I have a bad day, I still have a bad day and good day, but
everyone does.
But my core does not move.
Wow, exactly.
So for me is like it's not a problem, and what it creates is also a space where I don't believe that there is anything, even death or anything else, that I can't face in any form or any, because I keep working on it as a trying to make peace with things so that it's more flat.
Perfect. And I would say like it's grounding work a little bit. You're not flying in the clouds, or also we have in yoga this practice where you're actually sitting in a lotus position and somebody's hitting you on your shoulders. And the idea is that you understand that these hits are only exterior. You know,
Exactly.
you can be calm inside, and actually when you're long time in a lotus position, this will actually help. It's like a massage.
Yeah.
When it might look horrible for somebody who is watching it, but still it's very good. And people who I have done it, not very hard, because my yoga people are not yogis, so I don't hit hard, but many people have told that actually it helps you to focus better when you get the hit. So actually those hits can make you focus better. And of course, from failure, we learn more than a success. So it was very good advice. Do you have some tip that you want to say? You already gave that tip, which was very good, to join into Qi-Optima or Dolce Vita and these projects is what we are doing. But what else tip you have to entrepreneur? Like in general, what would you say to them?
Well, I think we can actually take it maybe more to what would I say to people in general, because it also applies to entrepreneurs. Is
Perfect.
That remain curious. Curiosity is that driver, like we spoke earlier, because with curiosity we can find energy. Like what is happening in the world now, a lot of things have changed. We don't have the freedom to move as much, and we are in a kind of a lockdown situation, which will get really ugly, because the world isn't looking at options on how to resolve it or how to go forward. It's just trying to maintain a situation which is just making things worse. But this is going to continue. It's not going to go away. So the thing is, don't let yourself get locked in to idiotic things. So you can, as a person, stay curious, keep demanding everything, keep questioning, keep challenging yourself, be curious of what you are. Don't go with people's views as much as people have been going. Try to be more independent. You don't need your neighbors' views. You don't need your parents' views. You can use them as, in a way, you take what is good, but nobody will define who you are, what you are, or why you are. So we all have the opportunity to be free, and with curiosity we can be free and energetic.
That's awesome. I love it. And it was good advice. It's true. And did you know today somebody gave me back for their tasks from the Self-Confidence is a Success course. And here was a phrase that I have to read. Don't argue with idiots. They drag you down to their level and beat you by experience. So amazing that this is how law of attraction works. That's something that I just read did again come into this interview. Amazing. Well, then last question, and then of course if you have something last words you can say. And I definitely think we need to interview more when the project is going
absolutely.
on in my life, of course, but in the eco village, if we can see some picture there, we love to see nature and everything, and to promote, of course, that you can then sell these organic products. Of course, we want to get them to everyone. But why would you choose Qi-Optima? Why Qi-Optima?
Well, I think we kind of touched on it in the start, because it's about shared vision. I believe that we need to break down barriers between countries. I don't believe in it. I really think the world has always been worse off thanks to the segregation and creating separating people from the opportunity to actually live life in a more free form. I don't think humans like this caged life, although we are like a little bit pack animals. But in the longer run, it's all about the opportunity that we can create when we grow and are sort of aware. We are not enemies. to ourselves or to each other. And this is like one of the things that is so ludicrous, that we have made ourselves kind of fighters, but not because we want to, but because some idiots are of the opinion that we need to fight. So I think Qi-Optima represents the opportunity for partnership and work, and for a kind of a world that sees itself growing through collaboration, through open borders, through and also has that innovative edge to want to actually figure out a larger solution. So you, like me, also see the fact that, look, just because somebody sometime wrote a book about something like Marx or something does not mean to one bit that it's right. And it's
exactly.
but it's we can, out of everything we can bring and find good things, and things get old and they get new and they can get reused and they can get reinterpreted and things, but we have stopped doing that. So the world is kind of like needing to stop and restart its engine and start to go towards a way that is progressive, not standing still. And I think this is kind of where we share very much our values kind of meet. So Qi-Optima is equally similar to this ambition to keep creating good things and bringing together things that naturally people believe are separated.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you for that. And like what I many times notice, people say, no, you gotta focus on one thing. No, but I cannot focus on one thing because I have a solution for everything. And then I'm gonna get more professionals who have more deeper solutions for this and this and this, because I know only this, but it's not all. It's totally not all. It's good part of it, but you bringing like my dreams also true, because I have vision also, but these are like houses, these like intelligent houses where you grow everything here in the, you know. But it's expensive. It's gonna be so expensive. So when we have a lot of money,
but it's all about perspective, and it's all about time. Money is also now redefining itself. So something that we call expensive today may not be expensive tomorrow. So
thank you for that view.
Nobody should
of mine.
block themselves.
Perfect. Thank you for that point, because I'm seeing myself inside of that houses, and I want to be in, because it's so stupid. You go buy food, always same foods. What if those foods are in the same place, just in your closet, and you eat it there? You know.
Absolutely.
So, oh my, this is so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you for so great point of view and curiosity and everything what you have built. It's great to see that kind of entrepreneur, special new kind of new thinking entrepreneur. And I hope all of you got something from this, and I hope you watched it in the end, because there was so much in this message.
Great. Thank you, Minja, for your time as well, and thanks. I really looking forward to what we will build together with Qi-Optima. It'll be a very interesting journey.
Wow, thank you. Me too. Take care and have a wonderful day, and stay curious, like Niklas says. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.